Kentucky's win over Oklahoma was huge for a few reasons. One, a great win on the road. That's huge right now because we're back over 500 in the SEC. Two, Kentucky has found their best player. Otega always showed up and showed out, and he showed that even when Jackson Robinson and Lamont Butler are back, Otega Owe is still the best player on our team. This is a revelation. Up until this point, Kentucky fans, we didn't know who our best player was. And third, it feels like we have momentum now rolling down into March. Momentum in March is bigger than anything else in college basketball, and it feels like we have it. If Kentucky's able to beat Auburn on Saturday, that's going to be even bigger for the program. And honestly, that game's perfect because we have nothing to lose. We should go in there, run around with our heads cut off, and see if we can take down Auburn. Otega Owe's huge game against Oklahoma was so special because Oklahoma was the school that he transferred from. Every time Otega touched the ball, he was getting booed by the fans. Everybody there was letting him know, hey, it's no love when you came back home. And Otega showed him that he felt the exact same way. Otega Owe scored Kentucky's last 18 points. Every time down the court, everybody knew who was getting the basketball, everybody knew who it was going to, but you couldn't stop Otega. That was a special performance. That was one of the most special performances of Kentucky basketball that we've seen since Malik Monk put up 47 at North Carolina. Otega always Otega always performance Otega always performance against Oklahoma was one of the most special Kentucky performances that we've seen since Malik Monk put up 47 against North Carolina. Jason Tatum begging to be the face of the league is weird energy. Why does he care so much about everything? And to answer your question, Jason Tatum, the reason that nobody wants you to be the face of the league is because you do weird stuff like this. You can't beg and cry and whine and say, "Oh, I'm so good and I averaged 26 points a game and by the time I was 26, Michael Jordan didn't do this." Nobody wants to hear that, Jason Tatum. That's the reason you're not the face of the league. You're soft. You're not cool. You have no swag. People don't want to root for you, and you play in Boston. So just get used to it. Strap up and play the villain role. That's all that you can do from this point. In the last 10 years, the Cincinnati Bengals have only extended two of their first round draft picks. This is an unreal stat. Our first round draft picks, the best guys that we draft every single year, we've only kept two of them out of the last 10 years. That's because our scouting department is one of the worst in the league. The Cincinnati Bengals scouting department only has four guys in the department, and our head coach Zach Taylor is one of them, and our owner is one of the other scouts. So the Cincinnati Bengals really only have two scouts that work for them full time. How do you expect to see and gauge all of the talent in the entire country from every college, every university, all of the AFL, Arena Football Leagues, Canadian Football Leagues? How would you see all of the talent from those leagues with two scouts, two full-time scouts, one owner who's a billion years old, and then our head coach who's busy coaching a football team? The Bengals' lack of resources is the reason why they're always going to be a bottom tier organization. The Bengals have great players, but they refuse to invest in their players. The Bengals are fighting, clawing, and scratching to be able to sign back Trey Hendrickson, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins. That's due to poor management. The Bengals have paid all of the wrong players. The only guys on our team with long term contracts are Joe Burrow, Logan Wilson, and Sam Hubbard. Everybody else either has a short term contract, got overpaid and isn't very good, or they're just not paid at all. And more often than not, it's the latter. We're just not paying our players. Every other team in the league finds a way to pay their best players, pick up free agents, and even make trades to get better players, but never the Bengals. If the Bengals start with you on their roster, they're going to end the season with you on their roster because we don't make midseason moves. Meanwhile, teams like the Philadelphia Eagles, they go and they make every move possible. The Eagles will go, they'll have the best team in the league, and just because one player is available, they'll go and pick him up because they know that he can make their team just that much better. That's the mentality that the Cincinnati Bengals need to have. They need to actively be trying to get better, not just coasting on one good draft pick that we made 5 years ago. People refuse to have this conversation, but after Steph Curry put up 56 points last night, he's still in his prime. He's still GOAT Curry. So if he's able to go and get a fifth ring with this roster, especially, Steph Curry is one of the greatest players to ever lace up and play basketball. He should be a part of the Michael Jordan and the LeBron James debate. What he's doing is unquestionable, and he doesn't need help. He's the only consistent piece that the Warriors have ever had. He's just Chef Curry. At the end of the day, he's that much better than everybody else on the basketball court. He doesn't dunk, he's not more physical, he's not the fastest, he can't jump the highest, but he's determined to win and he can shoot the piss out of the ball. Steph Curry needs to be in the GOAT debate with Michael Jordan and LeBron James. Joel Embiid is out for the season once again. I would be pissed if I was the 76ers general management, considering Joel Embiid played in the Summer Olympics. He was injured playing in the Summer Olympics while he was under contract for the 76ers, and now he's out for the year. He should have been using that time to rest and recover, considering Joel Embiid is always hurt. The 76ers have invested in them, put so many millions in his pocket, and every single year he plays less than everybody else in the NBA. This is a problem. This is similar to the Mavericks with Luka, but the 76ers need to trade or dump Joel Embiid because their franchise is never going anywhere with him because he's never going to be able to stay healthy, and he's proven that. In order for Joel Embiid to become superstar status again, he needs to lose a ton of weight, he needs to focus on maintaining healthy, and he needs to change up his regimen somehow because what he's doing right now is not working. The scariest team in the NBA right now is the Detroit Pistons. Everybody on their squad is young and they are hungry. They're reminding us of the '04 Pistons with Ben Wallace and that crew, but they're balling out of control. They have 8 straight wins. They play again Friday night, and Cunningham is unstoppable. Cade Cunningham is becoming who he was supposed to be, and he's right next to playing to Jalen Duren, who most people don't remember. Jalen Duren was the #1 overall recruit out of high school. He reclassed up, and they got him for a steal on top of the other draft picks that the Pistons have been able to get. The Pistons management and their roster is building a scary team because they're going to be good for years. They're going to be one of the young face teams in the NBA, along with the Timberwolves and the Thunder, that makes us watch out for years to come.